you for being here. Glad you made it. Welcome to the show. How are you? Feeling good today? Good. I'm glad. Me too. Thank you. Probably the best way for me to tell you what's going to happen on the show today is to show you some of what happened yesterday. All right? Watch this.
I've got a young man standing just to the side of you here. Actually, I have two. I don't know whether I'm here or if I'm in the audience, but I'm hearing him saying that it's too late. Hold my hand. Hold my hand. I'm now connecting with a young man who had all kinds of problems. It's really, really clear to me that whatever the surgery was, that something went from your baby to her baby. I'm hearing the boys, and they're saying to me that they are together, that they have come together. I have to first say hi to you from him, and then I have to say hi to you. But strangely, I also have to say hi to you and everybody else who works in this place. He's talking about some sort of problem with the sound system.
Yeah, just today we had a problem with that microphone.
Okay, and you had to change it,
Yeah,
and there was a big panic on because of it, and you thought that it wasn't going to happen, and it was, you know.
Totally expected it not to happen, and all of a sudden
and it did. What would you say if I told you that he was the one who caused the problem just to cause a little chaos?
We would believe that.
Rosemary Altea returns once again. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So whatever you want to ask as we go along, please, you know, raise your hand and jump right into the action. And I can just say the show is about all of you. Rosemary, let's go.
Oh. Okay. Well, as usual, I have no idea what's going to happen. Leeza, you know this.
And yet we still invite you back.
And you keep doing it. So I thank you for that.
They keep asking us to, honest to goodness. How many of you traveled a long distance to be here today? A lot of you did, right? They want to connect with you. I mean, this sort of thing follows you around. Honestly, it takes years to get an audience with you, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Can I send you out to them? Because
you can send me out to them. I'm going to start with a lady I keep bumping into in the ladies' room. We actually really haven't talked, have we? But we did bump into each other in the ladies' room, and you have the privilege, or not, of sitting in the seat that I sat in after. And each time I've seen you 2 times. Yes. During the day, and I have seen a lady who has been with you. I have to tell you, she's really very ordinary looking, and maybe a little bit.
Now wait, she said, "Oh yeah, my sister."
No, I meant I was trying to call her to get up with me.
It's all right.
Oh, okay.
I'm with both of you. Why don't you stand up too? It's a very brief message from this lady, but you know, she's tried twice in the ladies' room, and I wouldn't play, so I have to do this now for her. She just wants you to know that she is alive, that she's well, that she's happy, and she says, "Tell them I can breathe again. My breathing,
yes.
My breathing is good now. My breathing is clear. I can breathe again." And she's describing how prior to her passing, this is your mom that I'm talking to.
Is this your mother?
Yes.
And prior to her passing, she tells me that it was such a struggle for her to breathe.
Yes.
And it was an on-off, on-off.
Yes.
She was bad, and then she got better, then she was bad again, and she got better. And eventually, she tells me that this affected her heart tremendously.
Yes.
So we're looking at someone who had problems with her heart and with her lungs and with her breathing.
Yes.
She just wants you to know that she's alive and well, and she's with you. Now, which one of you has plans for moving? Is it you has plans for moving? There's something about...
Back of my mind.
There's something about... Excuse me, darling, I'm just coming up here. There's something about packing boxes.
Her boxes.
All kinds of... She's talking about boxes, packing boxes, reorganizing.
Yes. All her things,
And it's, you know, it's... she says it's a mess. It's a real mess. And she really wishes you'd sort it out and get on with it. And I don't know what this stuff is in these boxes, but she just keeps saying, move them out. Just give them away, move them out.
Rosemary was right on target. These two sisters thought their mother had been trying to get a message to them. She died of cancer a couple of years ago on Christmas morning. If you're here to make a connection with Rosemary, great, but let me warn those of you who just happened to wander by the studio today, she may connect with someone who's here, as she would say, for you. So if that's not okay with you, then you might want to move to the way back. We'll be right back. Stay close. More with Rosemary Altea. The two sisters still can't get over that you made a connection with your mom, right? Hang on.
What, you want a question?
Come here, would you please?
What's amazing to me is I said to my sister when we're driving here, I'm really happy with everything. I've let my mom go, and I understand she's alive. But the one question was that, did she suffer before she died because she couldn't breathe? And I said, Mom, if you can come to me today, just tell me if you could breathe, if you can breathe.
And that's the first thing she said?
That's the first thing she said to me.
Oh, I'm happy for you.
Yes.
That's great.
I'm really thankful for that.
You're welcome.
It was the one thing that was...
Oh,
You're welcome.
this is breaking my heart right here. This is breaking my heart. I'm going to get you some tissues while you guys talk.
I don't know what I'm going to do. And truthfully, here's what you have to do for me. Will you really help me? Because I might be standing with these two, but I could be somewhere else. So, you know, this happened the last time I was here on this show. You know, I was talking to one person, somebody else knew exactly what I was talking about. So if you understand what I'm talking about, shout, okay? Please shout out, and then I can help you. Now, patience is a virtue, okay? From the first time I sat down, from the moment I looked at you, I could see a boy who is standing between the two of you. And I can see him now, and the only thing at the moment that I can tell you about him is that he really is very handsome. I know you're going to say he is, because, you know. But he has a real look about him, such a handsome boy, and very strong-minded and very strong-willed. Now, he has not told me anything about himself yet, and I have a feeling that I'm connecting somewhere else as well as with you, so please be ever so patient with me. I promise, even if I have to stay here all night, I will talk to you. Even if it doesn't happen right now, I will talk to you, okay?
You do see him though?
Standing right here, looking at me, right? And I've been seeing him all the way through today. Every time I've looked at you, I've seen him. But we have to be really patient, because if this, what I'm now going to say, if it doesn't mean anything to you, I feel that I'm connecting somewhere else too, so please help me, okay? Just say yes or no to me. I'm hearing somebody, I see this boy here, but I'm hearing somebody talking to me about head problems. Head problems. Does that make any sense to you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Just say yes or no. Okay. Going very slowly. Okay. This is a little confusing because although I'm told about the head problems, there was something that happened very suddenly and very quickly, and it was like, you know, just smash, bang.
Yes.
And, you know, and I cannot tell you if he was hit in the head or banged in the head, but there's something about, you know, being hit like this.
Yes.
You understand? Hold my hand. Keep strong. Hold my hand. Hold my hand. You have to hold my hand. And speak to me. Where are you? Look at me. Look at me. Speak to me. I need to hear your voice, sweetheart. He needs to hear your voice. Try for me, okay? So far, he isn't saying anything to me. He's just looking at me.
I'm surprised.
Wait. Don't be patient. You know, it's tough. This is a tough job. And he's here, and because I see him, I know that he's insisting that we do this. But I feel it's my guide who is talking about him at the moment. At the moment. He's going to get his chance. Okay. So, if I repeat myself, please forgive me. We're going back again. I'm hearing again. I'm listening, and I'm hearing again something about his head, something about, it seems some sort of impact to his head. It was very sudden, very quick. There was no chance of resuscitation whatsoever. It was over immediately. And for the first time, I hear him speak, for the first time. And he's smiling at me. He's a little nervous. And he's saying, and here I am, and here I am. He wants to speak with you. He wants to talk to you. As I'm looking at him for the first time also, he has moved. And I see him stroking your hair. I know that sounds odd when I say that. I see them stroking your hair or touching your face. But that's what happens. They are real people, and they really do this. He's stroking your hair. And the love that comes from him, he doesn't have to speak of it, it shines out from him. The love that comes from him to you is so special. Did you ever wear an earring in your ear?
No.
Well, what is it about the earring? And there's something about an earring.
His brother, maybe.
Is that what it is? You were supposed to get one and didn't get one?
Yeah.
Well, he keeps playing with your earlobe, you see. He keeps playing with your earlobe and talking about the earring. So you have to understand, I don't know you, and I can only relay what he's saying.
Please don't move away from them yet if you can, and we'll be right back with you.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to stay right here.
I want this for them so much.
Okay. You okay? I've not gone away from you. There's also a young lady standing just somewhere over here who, I'm going to be really, I'm aware of I can see a young lady. I'm not honestly sure how old she is. Not a little girl. She's not, but she's young. She's very young. And she tells me that she had problems with her head too. But I feel that she had some sort of hemorrhage, or she passed very, very sudden, very quick with
My brother did.
some kind. No, this is a young lady that I'm seeing. Her hair is quite curly, very curly and darkish. I'm coming back. I'm actually seeing her standing between the two of you. And when I actually looked at you earlier, I looked across at you earlier, and I could see this girl quite clearly. And as I'm talking to you, I know it sounds strange, but try and remember everything I'm saying to you. She's just looking at me and she's nodding, and I feel that the connection is here with you.
This is surprising to you?
Don't worry if I'm confusing you. Somehow you'll find the connection. So, I mean, sometimes I go to someone, it turns out that it's a neighbor, or it's a friend, or it's the friend of a friend, or something like that. But this young lady, I'm going to try and describe her to you. I would say she's in her teens. She has dark hair. It's quite curly. She's talking about her head, and if I say it's a hemorrhage, I'm not entirely sure, but there's something about a hemorrhage. Am I making any sense to you at all?
I had a very special friend die. She fell, hit her head on the floor.
There you go.
She died the next morning in the
Did
doctor's
she look
office.
like that?
Oh, she had black hair.
Very dark. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just saw it as very dark. She's laughing at me. Don't be difficult with me. Well, she's standing. Just it's hard to talk about people's ages. I mean, I don't know how old, but anyway, she's here. She has her hand on your shoulder. I know that she's connected to you. She tells me it was very sudden, very quick, and she talks about her head again, and she wants you to know that she's here with you, and that, you know, can you tell everyone that she survived, that she's alive, and that she survived death?
Good.
Okay.
Tell me what's going on with you right now.
Oh, well, it was his girlfriend.
Interesting. Hey, that's interesting, isn't it?
It was, and I feel so bad for him because he was so close to her, you know. And she fell or something one day, and she had a headache, and she went to the doctor the next day and died at the doctor's office. I felt so sorry.
Before she saw the doctor, she died in the office.
That's what you said. There was very quick. Wow.
And I forgot all about this. It's not something that we.
It's not like you came here today wanting to connect with her.
Yeah, and then when he was going like this, and went.
It was her. Wow, it's interesting.
You know, it's very. I'll tell you a very funny story. Actually, I won't tell you the story, but I'll tell you that there are many people who, you know, they're married, but they're married to someone who maybe had a wife or a husband or something before, or a special girlfriend or whatever it is, and you know, they always wonder, well, are they watching us, and what do they feel about us, and do they approve, or, you know, what's going on? And she hasn't come here for any other reason than just to say she loves you and to let you know that she's alive. And I'm asking, does she approve? You want to know? I'm asking, does she approve? And actually, she really does. She really does. But she just wants you to know that she's your angel and that she walks with you.
She was there.
Did you questioned that yourself?
Oh, yeah. And I talked out loud, hoping she'd hear.
Well,
So
I have to
that
tell
is
you
interesting.
that she hears, she sees, and she's here today to tell you so.
Give us just a couple of minutes, okay? We'll see you right back here.
When I came to you, he says he asked if she would be here.
I didn't
And
thinking that way.
and then just never expected it to, really, maybe.
Can we invite them somewhere? Can we say, when you were here before and you made a connection with my friend Troy, I had said aloud the night before, Troy, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if this is the real deal or what. But if you know, and if it's true that you're still around, let me know. You know, come talk to this lady and just let me know. And that's perhaps the weird thing for me is I went, oh, I asked him and he's here and he's here. Did you have that feeling?
Yes.
Yeah. Do they know? Do they hear us asking for them?
they hear us. They hear everything. The worst thing, you know, when I first realized how much the spirit world could see us, I started using bubble bath in my bath water because I swear.
Oh, please.
I swear, it's true. I mean, you know, because it's true, when you realize exactly how, I told you I had a weird sense of humor, but when you really, really realize how much they can see us, it kind of, in the beginning, it makes you feel a little vulnerable, a little, you know. I quickly learned that they were actually not at all interested in watching me have a bath or a shower. I mean, they have way more important things to do. But they do hear us every day. They do come visit us on a regular basis. She saw her opportunity to come to you and say, yes, I'm living my life, but I'm also keeping tabs on you and watching you with your life. And she says, truly, she is your angel. She watches you, she watches over you, she walks with you. There's some exciting news about a baby. There's some very exciting news about the baby, and she says she's seen the baby.
What is this?
Granddaughter.
What? A granddaughter for you?
Well, I just had my daughter.
Had a
had one
baby.
2 months ago.
2-month-old baby. Isn't that nice?
What are you talking? 2 months old?
One of them is, yes.
Oh my gosh! All right, Rosemary. Okay, I'll just sit back. Now, do people ask questions, or do we wait to see who's talking to you?
I'm just going to come back here if I
Okay,
may,
good.
because I'm not finished. I just gave him, you know, sometimes it's very hard for those in the spirit world. They so desperately want to do this, and they're so afraid that they're not going to do it in the right way for you. And so I know this boy he's desperate to do it in the right way. So I moved away to give him a little time, a little break. I'm asking him, is he ready now? He's winking at me. I can see his very strong and very positive personality. And you're thinking, why isn't he talking? Because he's such a chatterbox. He talks non-stop all the time. You know, I'm a very intimidating lady. Some people find me really intimidating. You have to it's a very intimidating thing for him to do, but he wants to give you a message. May he give you a message? It's a really simple message. He wants to give you a message, he says, from his heart, to give you his heart, that he is always with you, that you have not lost him. It's so unfair, isn't it? God God can be so unfair, and we can scream and yell at him, and he's so unfair sometimes. I said to someone earlier on today, you know, that there is a saying that God can be so cruel that he lets us live. And those of us who are living here, we have so much pain and so much hurt. But as I'm saying this, I see this child laughing. His arms are around you both. And he says, I'm having a real good time. I'm having a good time. And I'm asking him, even as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to him. So I'm saying to him, well, what are you doing? You want to know what he's doing? And he's laughing. He says,
I don't want to interrupt. I'm going to let them keep talking, okay? And we'll break away just a little bit, okay? Be right back.
I'm playing with the clouds. I'm an angel. He says, I have my wings. My halo is a little around here, he says, but I have my wings. And he's so excited to be here.
Jack Morales cried throughout the entire show. He came here with his wife, Yolanda. They wanted to connect with their 12-year-old son, Stephen, who was killed last summer when he was playing with the neighborhood kids and some gang members drove by and just started shooting. A bullet hit him in the forehead, and their little boy was trying to protect the other children. Stephen died in Yolanda's arms. We were really glad that Jack came to the show. He told us afterwards that he now feels he's made peace with his son's death.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Let me bring a microphone so we can hear from you.
I'm connecting with a young man. I don't know if this is for you or someone else. So you have to, everybody try and, you know, you saw what happened over there. Everyone, you have to really listen to me really carefully. I'm connecting with a young man who tells me that he was sick, but he was sick for quite some time. Do you understand this, yes or no? Yes. Okay. Just keep saying yes to me, darling, or no. Yes. Hold her hand. Be a nice person. Okay. I'm actually hearing a nursery rhyme here, which may sound strange to you, but it's a way of telling me what went on. He's talking about being sick for quite some time. He seemed to go, it seemed as if it was the end, and then he seemed to pull out of it. He seemed to sort of get better. Yes. And everybody was extremely hopeful that he was going to get better. Now I see him, and now he's getting very, very excited. You can hear our first time suddenly talking because his energy is moving now. Yeah, we have this connection. He's a chatterbox. He's a very positive, outright, outgoing young man. Yes. I'm asking him, slow down a little bit. He's shaking his head. He says no, he has so much to tell you. Again, he's describing a point in his illness where you thought that he was dying and that was it, and it's almost the point of the last rites. And then he seemed to pull himself right out of it and seemed to be fine. And then suddenly, almost out of the blue, bang.
Yes.
Is that how it went?
Yes.
And that was it. So, I'm sorry, can I just keep going just for a second? I don't want to stop his flow. It's odd because even though you knew he was sick and you knew that, he had this terminal illness, it was such a shock when he actually went. It was such a shock because it was so fast, so sudden, so quick when he seemed to be doing so very, very well. Yes. He is talking about school. There's something about school, education.
You were supposed to start college.
Okay, and he tells me that, there's something about school and him desperately wanting to go to school. He was very, very keen. All right, darling. Okay, come on. Be very strong. Be very, very strong for me. Look at me. Come on, sweetie. Look at me. Be really strong for me, okay? Because he has a lot to say. All right? Okay. He was very keen to go to school. He really wanted, he had such a good brain and such a good mind, and he so wanted to do so much with his life. He's smiling.
Always smiling.
He's smiling.
Always.
And he tells me to tell you, well, you know, he did go to school. He is in school. He is learning, he is growing, he is getting his education, but not in the way that you might understand.
Yes.
But he has an education which is of a higher power. And he's laughing and he says, and there's so much light. There's so much light. And he's not just talking about, you know, the light that we talk about when we go to the light. He's talking about the light that, you know, triggers, opens up the mind. And he says to tell you there's so much here. There's so much that is good and positive that I'm learning from. And darling, he tells me to tell you, you must understand, he says, I'm in the place I'm meant to be. He didn't want to leave you, but he wouldn't come back. Not in the way you would want him to, because where he is so good and so beautiful, and he is just in the right place. He says he's so proud of you because you have been so strong. And he's smiling and says, Mom, you would be so proud of me too. So proud of me too. He's talking of David. David.
Who's David?
David.
That's you, David?
Can
Uncle David, he calls him.
Can he say thank you to you because you have been her support system. You have held her, you have cared for her, you have listened to her, you have done all you could to be the support that she needed, David. And he says, thank you, and he gives you a big hug.
We'll see you right back here. Stay close, all right?
He loves you very much, and he wants you to know that he's safe and well. He loves you. Okay, you're welcome.
My producers knew that Yvonne was going to be at the show this day. None of them knew that the man seated next to her was called David. I even assumed it was Yvonne's husband, and I thought it was Andre's father. Andre, Yvonne's 17-year-old son that she was trying to reach. He died after a long battle with liver cancer in his hospital bed.
Where are we, Rosemary?
I don't know, really. This will either make total and perfect sense, or I'm not with you and I will go somewhere else. Be really patient with me, though, because I will come back. If I have to leave you, I will come back. I have someone standing just behind me. I can't see him. It's a him, not a her, so far. A young him, he's laughing. Who knows what young is? I don't know what young is. Not a child, though, not a little child. But he tells me that he passed very suddenly and very quickly. Yes or no? You understand, yes or no? No. Okay. So I'm going to just move away, and everybody's going to listen to me, and I'm coming right back here because he's arguing with me, so I'm in trouble. Wait a minute, just a second.
He would do
Okay,
that.
he would do that.
He would do this?
He would do that.
All right, well, you know,
Anyone.
there's always one in a crowd, isn't there?
Not only argue, but he lectured the doctor on how to care
Well,
for his patients.
let's go really slowly. I can hear him again, and he's telling me again that he passed it was very sudden and very quick. So let's just go slowly, and let's see if we can make some sense of this. I'm saying to him, please make some sense of this.
But you think it's this story?
I do, actually. Even though you're saying, no, it's not so, when I walked away from you, I actually felt a push forward. So, you know, it's kind of, you know, and I'm hearing him arguing, and I hear him when you said no, he said yes. So I'm coming back and going to do this again. So be patient with me, okay?
Yes.
Right. I'm asking him, can he explain? The first word now I hear out of his mouth is hospital. But he doesn't like hospital. In fact, he hates hospital. He does not want to talk about hospital. He does not want to talk about treatment. He does not want to talk about anything to do with illness or sickness or any of those things. And I'm saying to him again, so then, where are we? He says, it was very sudden and very quick. Patience. Patience is a virtue. Hold my little Danny. Right. So I'm saying to him, all right, we really don't need this because we're on TV, you know, and he has to be really quick. But he's not playing, so I'm just going to be very patient with him and see what it is that he's trying to do. I'm telling him he can say anything he wants. I'm not in charge. You're not in charge. He's in charge. And he's laughing and tells me that's the way he likes it. So he says, this is a conundrum. He says it was everywhere. At the end, it was everywhere. Every part, it was everywhere. He talks about, again, about hospitals, about being helpless, about lying in a bed and being helpless, unable to be himself, unable to be the person and the personality that he is. And the frustration and also the anger when people wouldn't listen to him. Do you understand?
Very well.
Okay. Gotcha then. Stay still here. I want to know why he says sudden, and then he, you know, it's like, you know. But
Okay.
when I say
Keep
that,
connecting. Be right back.
when I say that, he says, but it was sudden. The end was very, very sudden. He says it was over in seconds. The end came very sudden. A young man who obviously went through great trauma and great difficulty. And I have here a young man who does not want to talk about it, which is not helpful to me. But he's trying to explain it in his way and he's nodding furiously. He wants you to know that it's him again, that you have your boy back. He is not that person who was in that bed. He is not that person who went through that illness. He is not that person who struggled and was angry. He tells me he is a person who is full of light and is positive and determined and is living his life. He is living his life in such a good way. In such a good way. Then just to irritate us a little bit, you can see he hasn't changed his character, right?
Not at all.
Just to irritate us a little bit, he tells me, and he's very clear on this, that he is right. When he died, it was very sudden and very quick.
Yes, the actual death was very quick. However, it was after 18 years of illness.
I know, but he's discounting all of that.
Yes, and he should, and I do.
He's discounting all of that. He's discounting the helplessness. He's discounting how he ended up. He hated it. You hated it for him. He tells me that you were so helpless, and could do nothing but watch his deterioration. You understand?
Pretty much.
I don't know who you are, but
He's a brother.
you know,
Brother.
I'm over here to you because somehow he connects so strongly with you. He's talking about speaking and speaking out, daring to speak out, daring to be the person you really are. And through all of his illness, he tells me, he's arguing with me. He wasn't ill. Through all of his struggle, okay, let's call it a struggle, he's happy with that. For all of that, he so fought to be himself. And even through his deterioration, he so fought to stay the person he wanted to be. And he says it just got him in the end, and he just failed at the end to be the person he wanted to be. But he says, I'm back. I am back, and I am here, and I love you. He says, I love you. And he says, trust me, I am as difficult and as awkward, and trust me, I know, because I'm having to speak to him. I am as difficult and as awkward and as powerful and as positive as I ever was. In fact, more so. He's stroking your hair. He knows how painful this is for you. But he says, you don't speak out about your pain. You don't share it. And he needs you to share it. Will you try? Your family need you to speak out about your pain, as hard as that is. They need you to share it, because if you share your pain with them, it gives them permission to cry. It gives them permission to share their pain with you.
Here's what's interesting about this story. David Singer was a very stubborn, determined individual who guaranteed always told you what was on his mind, just as he seemed to do here with his father today.
The way to be strong.
Let me explain to you what goes on if you're somehow just turning into the show right now. I'm going to be a little quiet because I don't want to interrupt when Rosemary is apparently making a connection with someone, as is happening for this family. We never know what's going to happen, but something is going on down there, and we'll continue with our show right after this.
Thank you very much. And trust me, he's around.
He never left. You say he's back.
Been an hour of Rosemary Altea by request. Let's give Rosemary a hand for what must be very tiring to do what you do. It must take it out of you.
Who,
right?
Me? I'm totally energized. Aren't you all energized? Or are you so exhausted that you just want to lay down and go to sleep?
Let me
You have
tell
no
you about her
idea
book.
What time I've been up this morning.
Rosemary has a bestseller. It's called Proud Spirit. A lot of people want to know more about what she does and the spirit world in general. You can find some answers in this book. And I always enjoy it when she's here because to me, it's like the ultimate discovery. I get to sort of just be the conduit and give you the time and let her help tell your stories. So I hope that something positive has occurred within this hour, and I know it has for so many of our guests. Rosemary, thank you. Come back soon, okay? All right. We'll keep talking, and we'll see you all next time. All right, stay safe, and thank you so much. Audience, can we hand out Rosemary's book? You're all going to be going home with a copy of